Oh, beautiful people, give me 1 minute to get to my second marker and you will crap your pants. I kid you not, you are going to need clean underwear. First of all, I gotta dedicate this video to the people of Palau, or Palua, P-A-L-A-U. I never heard of it before in my life. I was looking at my stats. You know me, I'm a statistical guy. I put it in order of the percentage of video watched, so you know that goes down pretty quickly here. So if there's a low number of people, they might watch 80%, 3 views, 81% of the videos that they watched, duration. And then I go down the list, I see 15 at 62%. Like, wow, that's high, right? It's a jump. 454 minutes. And I look over, it's Palua. I'm like, huh, what the hell is that place? So I go and look at it. Whoever is watching videos from here is very, very persistent or very passionate. They watch 16 and a half, almost 17 minutes worth 15 times. Average of 17 minutes, 15 times views. I'm like, wow, there's some dedication there. So I'm like, what's up with these guys, right? There they are there. I'm going to get back to you guys. I owe you for this video. This video isn't based only around this country, because I ran into some other stuff, and you guys have got to see this. You just have got to see this. First off, the island of Palua, perhaps it's called. I don't know. It's right here, basically. I got some markers in there. I spent like an hour or so in there. And that's one. Sorry guys, let me get to my third marker. Because first, this next one's pretty good too, but it ain't the pants crapper one. First of all, I found one extraordinary interesting thing that, from a geological perspective, I gotta wonder how the hell it exists. It's the good old boys. A triangle freaking island. Like, you have got to be kidding me. Yeah, I kind of labeled the marker there in the heat of the moment. Yeah, they got an airstrip, and it's like quite clearly rich people. They got tennis court, couple of buildings, whatever. Whoever these people are, to hell with them. Then I get over and there's islands near the Philippines, basically. Like, I am almost shaking here, people. Give me a minute. Let me back this up. I just want to put you in perspective of where we're going, because what I'm going to show you is some smaller islands. And for all you people that were laughing at me for Maldives, which I don't blame you, I was pretty erratic at that time. I feel pretty erratic right at the moment, I'll tell you that. Yeah, well, I think I might have been right in how I was acting, to a degree. Okay, so right in here you see all these markers, these sunshines near Indonesia. I mean, we're right near some big islands here. This horseshoe island thing, whatever the hell it is, I don't even recognize it. But it's almost all wilderness, barren land, right? Massive amount of land. I had a hard time finding a couple, there's some cities, but massive amount of unused land. Well, you gotta wonder, because not far from these islands is like a bay, and I see things like this. And like this. Now, I don't know who in their right mind is going to tell me this is normal, but it ain't. I'll tell you right now, it ain't. And we're not just talking about 2 or 3 of these islands, people. This is incredible. Absolutely stuffed, some of them, like every freaking inch. Little tiny sand things. Like, what are these guys doing here? Absolutely incredible. And I'm going to go to every one once. No doubles, people. And I'm sure I didn't even find them all yet. A lot of these islands are like, they're not very far from the mainland. It doesn't even make sense. What are these people doing living here like this? I think I know what happened. But for reality, non-Mandela machines, the question is, how? Why? What is this? Why? Who would ever choose to do that, right? Let's see how far these guys, look at how close they are to the land. There's a wilderness as far as the eye can see. Y'all gonna live here on this island like that? Absolute BS, man. Absolute. So I'm going to click through these a little slower, and I'm going to tell you how this happens. And I figured it out. Now that doesn't mean I have to be right, I could be wrong, but from what I gather, what's happening is they have, oh, this is just showing all on the along the mainland too, like there's ocean water coming up and taking out massive amounts of area. What I would assume farming area. This is ocean water getting up and just screwing things up, from what I can tell. Actually, maybe not. No, sorry. I'm not so sure what happened there, why that's so much water. I don't think they'd be growing with that much water. But yeah, I don't see it coming right in. Obviously, they lost a little bit along the shore. Anyway, carrying on. What has happened is there was things moved on the map. And what happens, oh, there's a dead, I'm going to have to get back to my story. So this is like a dead island from what I can tell. There's some people crunched along the shorelines here. I'm going to run out of markers here before I ever get to my point. Here's a funny one. Look, these guys crunched in here. No one ever thought of getting a plot of land out here anywhere. But it's all going to die. This stuff's all dying. Whatever, it's so low now, it's just turning into salt or whatever, the plants aren't even going to live. It wasn't originally like this. What happens is, I might lie about going back to some here, I'm getting near to the end of my list. I'm so excited I'm clicking through them. There's another example, she's pretty tight through here. If this was the only island, I wouldn't be stressing this. But it's just to show, like, why didn't anyone move up inland a little and be so tight in here? Pretty odd. So actually, I'm gonna go back to another one. Whoa, is that another one here? Nope, just some dying land. So what I believe is happening is things are moved. Again, why didn't they move inland a little? So there's the end of my list. Like, there's more out there. I know there's at least, like, almost a dozen, at least 8 or 10 more that the graphics were just totally botched. I think on purpose. Maybe, I don't know, but you couldn't tell. You could tell there's, like, rectangles there, but the graphics weren't any good, so. Anyway, that was all I have marked, so I will go back. I will show some doubles here so I can talk to you. And we get a little bit longer look at it. What's happening is things are being moved, and this happens out of time. So I'll get to explaining the Mandela machine, I'll call it. It's actually a Higgs wave generator is what it is, I believe. And so things happen outside of time, and things move, things happen, reality changes. And when things move, like the land, it drips away or they lose matter. I don't know. For all I know, it takes matter to move it, some of the energy. I don't know. For whatever reason, there's land being lost. But what happens in this process, whether it be a direct or indirect act of God or something, a part of the universe, or whether it be part of quantum renormalization, which is something you should all look up and learn about, or perhaps those are two of the same thing, right, for all we know. And also in quantum normalization, you can have, it's quite possible that a lot of that renormalization already pre-exists as energy within quantum particles. The concepts of stuff, because we lived here, we've experienced the Earth for a long time, our essence is on the planet. That and the fact that we expect certain things to be certain ways. We don't expect to all of a sudden be standing on the ocean surface and start falling into the water, right? No, we expect to be in a house. Maybe not quite like this. So what was happening is, I believe, from what I got figured at this point, I've been at it for a month and a half now. When things move and they lose matter, and then the people and the homes just end up getting squished together more and more. Even though it doesn't, and then it gets to a certain point, and more matter gets lost. And then what starts happening is you get these atolls, because the coral grows, which is life, right? Coral's life, or it comes from life, originally. So then you start getting these coral foundations for all the houses to be on. Not a foundation, but an island, something. They need matter there to hold the houses. Now these aren't. Most of these are still sand and stuff, but there's a good many out there, in the Maldives being one of them, which is another ridiculous case of houses being squished together. But there's no big islands nearby to argue, why didn't they just move over there, right? This is stupid, whatever. So what may happen is that the coral will grow, like, automatically. I'm not talking about life grow and coral left behind as how coral is normally created. I mean, within the quantum normalization, the coral spreads up, and in order to account for the loss of land. So essentially it just gives you something for the house to be on, because there has to be something for the house to be on, because you have to have a house, because you just expect there to be a house. I don't know, but also because they can't kill us. They cannot use this machine to kill us. I'm convinced of that. I think they tried, perhaps. I think they would have if they could, but they haven't. They can't. We are more important than reality. We are over reality. This is our reality. How and why, you could look at that from a religious aspect, I don't know. But this stuff is absolutely remarkable, just remarkable. Absolutely ridiculous, right? I don't know, who's going to argue? Someone going to leave me a comment, tell me this is freaking normal? I'll tell you right now, you need more help than I do, and right now I feel like I need some help. Like, this is unbelievable. You think this is normal? I'm gonna label you as crazy, and I'm gonna prescribe you 1 year, no TV, no satellite, no cable, no internet, at least 8 hours sleep a night, one cute cuddly animal,